Hey guys, what's up? I'm Greg. I hope you guys are ready to unpack and get into some good conversations today.
And I'm Jess, and this is our podcast, Baggage Claim. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, Baggage Claim? How you guys doing this week? Thank you so much for joining us back to listen in on our fun escapades as we dive into some new stuff today. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, grab that favorite drink, cozy up to that proverbial table. Maybe it is a real table, whatever it may be. Grab your favorite drink and just kind of settle in. We're going to do a little bit of a different podcast format tonight, which is going to be kind of fun. And we're going live on Facebook. So maybe we have no one join. Maybe we do. Who knows? And so
We're just wanted to try.
Yeah. And so I just want to start with, again.
Also, sorry we're a week behind releasing. I was really sick last week. I could not record. But thank you for joining this week, too, because it's spring break for Jess.
Yeah, we usually release on Tuesday mornings, but we're running a little behind. We'll go out tonight, so you'll have it first thing Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So if you want to download, if you're listening to this, it's kind of pointless because nobody's really watching it. But if you're listening, hey, thanks for listening. Just so you know, our audience is growing, which is crazy. Every week, like we get new cities, new downloads, new people from all over, which I just love seeing, and it's fun. Thank you for liking. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you for telling your friends about us.
Yeah, and absolutely. We're having a blast and having fun. And just before we get into it, and Jess will kill me for doing this.
Oh, Lord.
We are working on some content for you guys. Right now, it's like an 8-week kind of in-home study for your family on helping develop culture for your family. So it's kind of like what we walked through on the last podcast. If you haven't heard that, check it out. It's episode 8.
Yeah, and I didn't want you to talk about it yet because we're still working on it. But
yeah, well, that means we have to work on it faster if we say it out loud. So
that's why I didn't want you to say it
It's
out
called
loud.
accountability. So now we have to actually finish it. We have an outline started. So we're trying to put that out there so you guys will have something to download, actually do with your families where you're at, walk through. And so that's kind of exciting. It's out there. But anyway, today we're talking about, we all want that silver bullet. Like we're going, anytime you talk about marriage, you talk about business or anything else that's successful, you listen to podcasts or like, what do all the successful people do? What is successful
marriages? Tell me the one
marriages?
thing I need to do to make it work.
Yeah, it's like, what is that one thing? Well, if we knew what that was, we would be filthy rich. And there'd probably be like 5,000 of y'all on our live stream right now. But right now, there's maybe one of you, and thanks for watching. But there's not really a single silver bullet. I decided we came up with, and I asked Jess this question. And it was a deer in the headlight, but I'm like, okay, marriage is fun when it starts and it's great. And it's, you have this lovey-dovey feeling. Everything is perfect. But then just life happens and you start, just everything, the bills, the schedules, everything comes together and it just gets crazy. So as Jess was like, tell me 2 things that you think make your marriage really, really successful, or you think that you make your marriage work really well. And then she asked me those same 2 things too.
Yeah.
And so trying to figure out what those 2 are.
Yeah.
And so we're going to dig into that tonight, and we're just going to talk about what Jess's 2 are, my 2 are. So I'm going to ask you, just please bear with us because we're going to jump on our proverbial soapbox.
Yes.
And just kind of talk for a little bit.
It's going to be a little bit different because usually we'll share what we want to share, and at the end we'll unpack that baggage together and sort of, give you a challenge or suggestions to work on. But this week, we're going to kind of talk and unpack as we go.
Yeah.
We'll do something at the end so that you guys have something to go off of, but it's just going to be a little bit different this week.
And we are working on having some guests show up in the next few weeks, so that could be fun. If we can, bribe anybody or, pay them to come on here or whatever to share with us. But so cool. Let's get started.
Okay.
Let's jump right in. So Jess, tell me what your 2 are, and we're gonna take turns. You'll do one, then I'll do one.
Okay.
We go back and forth. So tell me what your 2 items are. Tell me what your 2 things.
Tell them to you.
Concepts.
Both at one time, or you want to do one at a time?
I don't know. You surprise me.
Okay, so One of them is to have fun together.
All right.
I know it sounds basic.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of truth and simplicity. So when you say have fun together, help me unpack that a little bit. Like, what does that mean for you?
Well,
Like, define that.
you need to be friends with your significant other.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like them as a person and enjoy doing things together.
So the whole chicken and egg thing, like what came first,
Yeah.
the chicken or the egg? So what comes first? Is it the friendship or the fun? Like, do you have fun with somebody and be like, oh, wait a minute,
I'm
we're
gonna be your
friends?
friend.
Or is it you're friends with somebody and you're like, oh, this is actually
I
fun?
think it's according to how you start out. Like some folks were friends in the beginning and then realized, oh, I have feelings for that person. Maybe I want more than friends. Other people like you and I had never even knew each other existed, so we didn't know anything about each other. So as we were getting to know each other and just becoming friends,
Right.
It allowed me to know more about you and to how we could have fun together, getting to know each other. But I don't feel like that should stop the longer you're married.
I agree. But why do you think it does stop, though? Like, do you have an idea or a thought of why? Like, because friendship should be easy. I know it's work. It's like any relationship.
Yeah, but also as an adult, having actual friendships in the world is hard anyway.
It actually is.
Just like friends that are not your spouse, you have to be intentional to see those folks. You have to, check your calendar, see whenever we can get together and hang out, or those type of things. But we should do the same thing with each other. You
it's
have
crazy.
to be intentional.
Yeah, you said you had to be intentional with those that aren't your spouse, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Even people the person you're married to.
Even more so.
Yeah, because it's just easy just to get into the roommate phase. And we've been in the roommate phase a few times to be like, you're just nose down doing stuff. And there is no fun.
Right. There's a bunch of kids or, finances are tight or it's just, you're working on a project where you're not home as much or something like that. But if you're not intentional, it's not going to happen. And your definition of fun can change over the years. Like when we first got together, one of our first dates is you took me indoor rock climbing. Had I ever done that in my life? No.
Did you think it was fun?
It was fun.
Oh, okay.
And I made you go watch me paint.
Yeah, it was I remember it was a sip and paint. And I was like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, they drink wine and they drink when we paint. And I was like, oh, well, I can do the sip part. I don't know about the paint part. So I remember it's so funny because we went with, I think Damon and Tracy
We
went with
did,
us.
but
for
I had
that
been
one.
going for months and months before that. And
So-
I was friends with the owner, so she was like, oh, you brought a dude with you. Okay.
So I rolled in this cooler, a rolling cooler. That's how classy I am.
Yeah, super
it's a
classy.
rolling cooler into this sipping, and I sat on the cooler.
Yeah, right behind me.
And every time I would open the lid, it'd go, "Meow," and everybody would look at me, and I'd be like, anybody want a drink? And everybody was looking at me like, "Meow." It was every single time.
It was so classy.
Yeah, I couldn't sneak around.
No,
like
but
that.
that
I knew
was-
how many drinks I had by the end of the painting.
And that was part of us getting to know each other and becoming friends then.
Yeah. It was just, I think it was making the allowances for, hey, what is it you like to do? I'll go try that out. What do you like to do? I'll go try that out.
But now we've been together 13 years and our definition of fun has changed. Used to it was, date nights or whatever. I mean, we still do that, but on a regular basis, although all but one of our children have left the nest, it looks different now because most evenings we've got, our grandbaby and her mommy and daddy over here. And
Or even sometimes we may try to, we have this thing on Friday afternoons, we go to Mellow.
Mellow mushroom.
Mellow mushroom, sorry.
Yay, mellow mushroom.
So we go to Mellow Mushroom right here by our house. And
we think we're sneaking away.
yeah, so we have, and then all of a sudden they show up or other people show up. And they're just like, yeah, we knew y'all would be here. And then our table winds up having 5 or 6 people at it, which is not bad. It's
not
fun.
bad. No, it is fun. But your definition of fun can change. But it's important the whole idea is just to enjoy your time together.
Yeah.
Whether you're covered up with kids or, they still crash your dates or, whatever, what have you, or going to walk at the park could be a definition of fun. And it is for us a lot of times, but It's just important. The whole idea of like, I know it sounds like very simple of just have fun together, but it's mostly about being intentional to enjoy your time together as a couple.
Okay. So I have maybe a challenging question in that.
Okay.
Say you're together, you're in the middle of marriage, things are tough, it's just hard. And you're like, okay, I hear you, Jess, but I can't see the fun. I just can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you say you should have fun together, what is that? Like, how do I start that? Like, how do I even just, and I know I'm not jumping to the end for the unpack part, but for you to go, if I'm in this and this is kind of tough right now, what's an initial kind of, how do I start this? How do I just do that?
You got to talk about where you're at and be honest, and talk about what would make your heart feel lighter, what would feel fun for you, what would make you feel connected to me. Is it just literally sitting in the porch swing and listening to music and being quiet together? Okay, it's just a connection. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Just a way to be connected.
Gotcha. Okay. So just make a step, basically.
Anything.
Okay. So what's the most fun thing you love to do right now?
Right now?
Like if I said, hey, I have a fun weekend planned for us, what are your hopes in that fun weekend?
Hopefully throw the top back on the Jeep and go riding in the mountains. That's always fun.
Yeah, well, this is not riding in the mountains. It's riding in the mountains too. A winery somewhere. That hopefully has live music.
Yeah, live music.
So those are Jess's two favorite things.
Yeah, and outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know if we're outside listening to live music and there's wine nearby, you're a happy girl.
I am.
So,
or go find a random creek somewhere and have a picnic and turn music on your phone.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive.
Right.
Or a big deal.
Yeah, we're definitely proponents of that. We've lived on a
shoestring budget at times.
I don't even know if you call it shoestring. It may be a flip flop budget
or a toothpick.
Yeah, it's like crock budget here. It's like hey, we're broke. What are we gonna do?
But we managed to have fun no matter what.
This is just kind of makes me laugh. I look back at it now. One of our fun dates used to be we would go get a box of tacos.
Yeah. I think we talked about this one time.
From Taco Bell, and just watch a fun movie. Well, just, 2 weeks ago? Last week.
No, it was like 2 weeks ago, yeah.
So we're out, and I was like, dude, let's go get a box of tacos at Taco Bell and just go home and veg out and watch comedy shows or something. You're like, yes. Mm-hmm. We go to Taco Bell, and the lady's like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. And I was so heartbroken. I just drove off.
You did? You drove off out of the drive-thru?
Yeah, I just left.
And there was a woman behind us. She was like, stuck her whole torso out of her driver window and was like, y'all okay?
Yeah, I was just upset. I was heartbroken.
You were like, they don't do box tacos anymore.
I did yell at that.
Like, oh my gosh, we need to get out of this place.
I was upset. I wanted to relive that moment.
She ruined your fun.
She did. She did ruin my fun.
All we were trying to do was eat tacos and laugh.
Yeah, well.
We couldn't.
All right.
My first one was have fun together. What's one of yours?
Mine is, God, this is a big one for me. I have two, and they run neck and neck. So it's kind of, I would say, it's not about you. Don't be selfish. Just don't be selfish. If you're selfish, then you're just going to lose.
Okay, what does that mean to you in real life?
Okay, so when you want a short answer? I'll give you the answer I have in my heart. When we got together,
preferably the answer you have in your heart.
Okay, I'll go with that one.
Preferably.
So it was when we got together. It was okay. I want to love you. I want to respect you. I want to honor you. I have Callie and Cody who went through the drama of divorce, who are with us 7 days and without us 7 days. So I need to figure out how to communicate with them, stay connected to them the 7 days they're not with us. And then 7 days they are with us, that they integrate into our family in a way. You have Aaron, Grace, and Thomas who lost their dad 2+ years ago. How do I try to help fill that gap, not fill that gap? Be there for them when they need me, don't overpress that. At the same time, stay in communication with my ex over medical issues, school issues, sports issues, while at the same time making sure that you're not mad because I'm having to call, text, be in touch with my ex, that like you feel secure in our relationship, that you're not in that one. So it's like I'm trying to juggle all those things on top of have a job, manage that job, manage just
Our household.
our family, and just trying to make sure that we're doing the things that I feel like we ought to be doing and loving each other and caring for each other.
Well, you did a good job at all of that.
Oh, well, thank you.
You still do.
So all that, when I say, man, if I always wanted my way, then I was always going to lose.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a moment just to go, I just want what I want. Now there was those moments.
Yeah.
And usually I put my headphones on and go walk around the neighborhood and just be, I want this. But it's usually over some stupid, selfish thing. And it's just, I know that sounds, a lot of people are going to listen to this and go, well, that sounds incredibly sad and unfulfilling.
Right.
My joy was not in just saying, hey, I want everything I want, because at the same time, what I wanted was our family to be happy.
Right.
I wanted us to live life to the full. Like that's what I wanted. In order to do that, there was a lot of things I had to juggle and make sure happened at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I say that's where that comes from.
Well, one way you live that out, though, on a daily basis now is all my school mornings. You get up early, even though you don't have to, and you make my coffee, fix my water, make sure I've got everything packed up, and help me get everything to the car so I can get to work early like I like to. And you don't have to do that.
No, I don't. I enjoy it, though. Like, I enjoy getting to see you. Not every morning.
Not everybody would.
Okay, yeah, not every morning, though. There's some mornings where
it's rare where you don't.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Rare.
Yeah, but that's something I enjoy doing with you and for you.
Right. But then after I leave, that's when you get some time in the morning to kind of get yourself ready for the day. You get your coffee and Baxter snuggles up in your lap and Bailey under your feet. And, you kind of recharge yourself a little bit.
I do.
Right?
It's usually when I watch the latest YouTube golf thing that I want to watch, or I'll catch up on a podcast that I've been wanting to watch or see. And I do watch those before I jump into something. I've been debating on whether to start my exercise directly as soon as you leave. It just doesn't sound fun at all to me. But I'm trying to find those things too that help.
Yeah.
Not only recharge me, but make me better.
Because if you just give and give and give and give and give with nothing to give from, then it's not going to come from joy.
Well, it's a gas tank. I mean, this is basically your gas gauge. Like car runs on gas, it runs out, you got to refill it. So the idea behind that is people may look at it and go, well, dude, if your life is all about giving to someone else, serving someone else, what do you do for you? Well, I find things that I enjoy doing that really fulfill me, that I recharge from. And you may hear those and go, well, that doesn't do me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Find what recharges you, because you have to fill your gas tank back up, because it's going to get drained again. And your kids, whether you want it or not, and your significant other are going to need things from you.
Yes.
And so they're going to take, not all the time, but they will take. And so you just need to recharge. My recharging is, I get to go play golf a good bit with friends, which is incredibly fun.
Go on guys' trips.
I do. I've went on some guys' trips to Austin, to Tennessee, to Nashville, to New Orleans. Going on a golf trip this year, which I'm really excited about with some buddies.
And my recharge is when I get to go to the gym in the afternoon.
Yeah, and so you do that. And it's recharging for me, though, can be as simple as grabbing coffee with a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And just saying, like, being in that coffee, just having great conversation gets me pumped up and I get excited about it.
Yeah.
So, it's like, it doesn't have to be, I got to go on a trip, I got to go do this.
No.
It could be being around people recharges me. This is just how I'm wired. So,
yeah.
So that's my thing. And that goes right back to, if you want to be a great husband, if you want to have great relationships, be the healthiest version of yourself. Know what recharges you.
Yeah.
And then find ways to pour yourself out and serve those that are around you. Serve your kids, serve your wife, serve them. Whether sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes they're thankful. Sometimes they're not. But you're not doing it to get a pat on the back.
Yeah.
You're serving them. Serve, and don't make it about you, and watch what happens. It's kind of fun. It's kind of crazy. So, hey, how about your next one? Your next one was
Don't sweat the small stuff.
don't sweat the small stuff.
I know
Okay,
that's
so,
a phrase that's used like over and over and over and over again. So cliche. But for me, it's
what's
not.
small stuff? Because I don't want to sweat it.
Okay. Well, an example I could use in our everyday life is, when you're working on a job sometimes and you come in and you kind of unload your pockets on the island in the kitchen and your tools and stuff kind of hang out there for a day or two. And I could let that drive me nuts, but I don't. Or when I'm doing laundry, and again, like if you've been on a job and there's 45 screws there in the washer,
Just so you guys
or
know, I do
golf tees, or
I do
things
some
like that.
handyman stuff from time to time. I do real estate in the area, but I also do some handyman stuff and work on some remodel things here and there. So that's where the screws and the things in my
Yeah.
pockets come from. I don't just put random things in my pocket and walk around. So if I'm on a
Yeah.
job and I have shorts and I'll put screws or things
Yeah.
and I try to unload those, but it just
Well,
doesn't
like the
happen.
other
And
night
then golf
whenever-
tees, yes, definitely.
The other night, whenever we were cleaning up and turning TV off and stuff to go to bed, you brought back like 4 pairs of shoes that were all over the living room.
Yes.
And you were like, apparently all of my shoes were in here.
Yeah, I had flip flops and shoes and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I had shoes
And I had
randomly
seen-
throughout the house.
I had seen the shoes, but also I didn't care.
Well, I didn't realize until I needed a pair of shoes, and I went in the closet and was like, none of my shoes
Well,
are in
where's
here.
my flip flops?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my stuff was straight all over the house, and it
Yeah.
is interesting that you don't do that. There's a lot of people who that would irritate the crap out of them,
Yeah.
and just frustrate them. So, thank you, first off.
Yeah.
How do you get there, and how do you stay there? I
Why are
guess?
you the way you are? To
Yeah,
quote The
why? Yeah,
Office.
why do you do that? Because I just want to say thank you, and I think there's a lot of guys that be like, "Bro, I love to put my crap on the island," and I get cussed out. Just my stuff though doesn't stay. Just
No,
my
it is
can I
not
put my
that
disclaimer?
bad. Please do, because it's not that bad.
It doesn't stay there long.
No, maybe 2 or 3 days. That,
Maybe
again, I don't care. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. Why am I the way I am? Well, I've always been an optimistic kind of person for the most part. I try to find the good. I'm a silver lining kind of girl.
Yeah.
Just in general as a person. But for those of you that know us personally or that you've listened, my experience in my first marriage, losing my husband, within this few months after, and I know I've mentioned this before, when I would hear wives complain about their husband, like, he don't even put his dirty clothes in the laundry, or he leaves water bottles all around the house, and this, that, and the other. I'm like, but he's there. He's there to do it.
Right.
Because I've lived the alternate of that, of there is no one, not a husband there to leave a mess. There
Right.
is not a husband to pick up after. And so having that ripped away and being so thankful that I have you, I'm like, that little stuff does not bother me at all.
That's interesting. Yeah. Question I haven't. I'll probably never ask you this.
Oh boy.
Did TJ, did he put his stuff away? Was
No.
he? No, he wasn't. Did you
No.
get frustrated at him then?
He was a very messy man.
Most of us are.
Yeah, most of you are. But it didn't really bother me then either, though, honestly. But then when you're used to that and then it's just gone, it reminds you of,
You kind of missed the mess.
yeah, you miss the mess a little bit.
Gotcha.
And so it's just kind of like, oh, that really, I'd like to stumble upon an empty water bottle somewhere, that kind of thing. So
the question for me is, because you and I have had this discussion too,
Yeah.
we feel like we were very intentional with our time with our kids and we tried to slow down.
mhm.
But even looking back, I go, man, I wish we'd have slowed down a little more.
Yeah.
Because now they're out.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because we're going to see Cali Girl in a couple weeks down in Pensacola.
Yeah,
I'm so
can't
excited to go
wait.
see her. Anytime we get to go spend time with our kids, we just get excited. But
That's our
we
nickname. That's our nickname for Cali girl.
so we are in that,
Mm-hmm.
and we look back at. There's always that hindsight. It's always 2020.
Yeah.
So in the sense of how do you have that without losing a spouse? To hear say that's a.
Yeah.
I mean, Because a lot of people, most people listening are like, hey, my marriage is,
there's
maybe
not a
it's
lot of
tough,
people
maybe
that,
it's good.
There's
maybe
not a lot
it's-
of people that walk my path at the age I walked it.
Right.
So
That's a hard path.
yeah.
And so I don't think you give yourself enough credit for how much you've healed and how much you've grown, and how you love and how you do those things is huge, huge, huge part. And I think it just speaks volumes to who you are, but also too, how do you get there? How do you make that happen?
For me, it's just a way of thinking. And okay, and transparency. Are there things, if I let them, drive me nuts about you? Yeah, I'm sure I could.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. I was like, there's a couple of projects around the house that I would like to have finished, but are they annoying enough for me to nag you about it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, because ultimately, if we sit down and talk about them, they're annoying to me too.
I'm sure.
Like, it's just like,
On the
God.
flip side, it's probably as annoying as I'll get out to you that I don't fold clothes as often as I probably should. It's not probably, it is annoying to you. But you're not ugly to me about it ever, you know?
Yeah,
It's like-
laundry is a hard thing for us.
Yes.
It gets to the point where we literally, this is the way we've tried to overcome that.
Yeah.
It gets so bad. We're like,
so
I don't
bad.
have anything to wear in the mornings, and I'm searching
It's
through
all
laundry
clean.
baskets.
It's just not where it belongs.
So we will literally dump it all on the bed,
Mm-hmm.
like every bit of it. We'll turn some music on the TV, sometimes grab a drink, sometimes not. It really depends. Most of the time we don't. And we're just like,
we're
head
trying to
down
get it done.
and just like, let's just finish this. So
Yeah.
we sort, you have a side, I have a side. We sort it out. We hang up our stuff, put it away. I put mine away. You do. It literally doesn't take
It
us
doesn't.
20 minutes.
In the summer when I'm home, laundry's not an issue because I'm home. I do it and I put all of ours away. But it's just so busy, and time is such a rare resource, I guess you can say,
Yeah.
that I don't want to be in our bedroom folding clothes. I want to be out in the house, in the main area of the house where everybody else is or where you are. I don't want to be back there putting up laundry.
Yeah. Well, your day's so short.
Yeah.
And that's when we say, hey, look, we live in the same world you guys do. Like, it's crazy at our house.
Yeah.
Like, Jess during school, she gets home literally maybe at 3:40, 3:45 sometimes. She changes clothes. She's at the gym by 4:30. She comes home at 5:20. We maybe have 35, 40 minutes. Then we're cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Cook dinner. Then it's like
Clean it
cleaning
up.
up. And then Jess goes to bed at 8 o'clock. I always rag her. Sometimes it's 7:30. So we're no more eating and she's trying to go
First
to bed.
graders are hard. Okay.
So-
Firsties are hard work.
So Jess was to go to bed because she's getting up at 5 o'clock, which I
Yeah.
get. And so it's like when we're saying all this stuff, we're not just spouting off a bunch of
No, it's stuff
crap.
we actually do and try to do and be mindful of.
Yeah. So trust me, I understand that
Yeah.
time is valuable. So
So that's why, again, it's so important to not sweat the small stuff, because if you do, the small stuff becomes all you see, and you can't see any good. All you see is the stuff that drives you nuts.
so you kind of see what you want to see.
Yeah, kind of like what we talked about mindset not too long ago.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. In that past episode. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so your second one was?
The old dreaded C word
Yep.
that we all say and we all throw around. And most of us suck at it. Communication.
Yep.
So communication is that's my soapbox. I'll jump on
Yes.
that thing faster than anything. And
Yes.
sometimes I know you're annoyed by it. But also too, it's,
Not annoyed, challenged is a better word.
okay, maybe challenge. Yeah, that's probably right. But I've seen so many relationships in like professional relationships, personal relationships fall apart because of lack of communication. In all honesty, most relationships end because of poor communication.
Yeah.
Even in the fact, I know I've said before, most end with bad communication and unmet expectations. Well, that unmet expectation is
Is
because
due to communication.
yeah, because you didn't communicate about
Yeah.
it. And so it all goes back to this simple word of communicate, but it's so simple and so complex all at the same time, that sometimes we just get ticked if they're just like, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. The mountain seems too big to climb. I'm just not going to do it. And so we don't.
Yeah. So when we decided we were going to have a relationship after we became friends, it pretty quickly escalated to hey, I want to actually date you. How frustrating was it to learn that I was a terrible communicator at that point?
Well, I don't think I'm a phenomenal communicator.
Well, you're way better than me.
So I think I was.
And you've had portions of your career that depended on that.
Yeah, where I had to do that.
Yeah.
I think the frustrating part wasn't that you sucked at it. I think I wanted to understand and know how you were feeling and where you were coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And you just did not have words.
No.
And you would not use your words.
No.
And you'd just be like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, what does that mean?
I
don't know what that means. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, you just get frustrated and we'd be stuck in this, we're just spinning our tires. And I was like,
Right.
okay, we're not going anywhere. We got to figure out a different way to do this. So it's like, we got to ask some better questions and figure out what those questions are to get you to thinking differently about your thoughts and your feelings.
I perceived it as negative.
Interesting.
Both you're questioning me and my thoughts, it felt negative. And then on my side, I was afraid I might say something that would be hurtful unintentionally, or it just all felt like the potential was just negativity rather than just literally tell me what you're feeling. I mean, now I know that, but that's not how I functioned before.
It's interesting
I know.
that it came from a negative point. Like you saw things as me asking questions as
it felt like
I was attacking you? Or?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Why? But
I've never had anybody in my whole life that did that. So it was like, why are you asking me so many questions? Like what? I'm telling you what I think I'm telling you what I want to tell you.
Right.
So it literally felt really negative in the beginning. And sometimes I still fall into that.
I think, yeah. And I think, but also too, I think sometimes I like to say passionate. You use a different word than I say when I become very passionate. Yeah, you say I'm a dramatic. I say it's passionate. It's neither here nor there.
It's here, over here with dramatic is the word.
Neither here nor there. But the reality is like it's my tone in the way I ask. It's not just about asking the question.
Oh my gosh, your tone sometimes is like shut down city for me.
It's in the way that I ask it.
It's the way you ask it.
Yeah. So, guys, it's not about just see. I can text my friend Michael, who's our producer here, who's behind the computer and headphones on. I can text him a question and just simply be like, "So, what'd you think about this?" And without the context of that, he would be like, well, what does that mean? Like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. But then if I sit down and go, hey, I heard you had a meeting the other day with so-and-so, and you guys were talking about this. How'd your community, like, how'd your conversation go about that? That's a completely different way of asking the same question. It's just a little more in depth in getting there. And I get it can be overwhelming. Yeah. It really can be.
Because sometimes how fast your brain thinks, you can fire off like 20 questions within 2 minutes, and I'm still back here processing the first half of the first question. So you have to also be mindful of how your partner communicates and processes communication.
Right. Not just communication, but how they process.
This many years later, it's a frustration for us.
Yeah, it is. I'm learning to slow down and to just sometimes be quiet. Because that's a good thing for me not to be talking all the time. But that's my thing. If I'm gonna tell you there's one thing you ought to fight for, it's fight for communicating with your significant other.
Yeah.
And do that to the best of your ability. But like ask her how her day goes. If she's in the gym class, what'd you do in the gym today? What'd you do?
To her.
Yeah, don't just ask a question and get on your phone. Put your phone down.
Yeah.
Lock eyes and say, hey, what was good about your day?
Even when you do ask me how the gym goes, and I'm telling you the ridiculous things that we did in the circuit training, even if you're not interested, you do a great job of pretending like you are. Or even if I tell you some first grade story from today, and you're really intentional about getting to know my students with me, and like, I can't believe so-and-so did that, or he's so silly when he said, and like, whether I don't know if you actually this is going to sound ugly. I don't know if you actually care. I don't mean it that way. Or like invested in what I'm saying. You care about it. Or like if you're actually invested. I don't know because you don't show me that. You, like you said, you put your phone down, you look at me, and you actually engage in what I'm saying. So I feel like I'm being listened to.
Well, that's the friendship.
Yeah.
Like if I'm friends with you, I'm going to be invested. Like if we go to have coffee and you get on your phone, that irritates the hell out of me. Like if you're getting on if we're going to have coffee and you get on your phone and you're doing, I'm like, bro, bye.
But
Just
we
take
don't
my
do
coffee
that.
and leave.
We
No,
don't-
like
we
it's
don't
like I'm
do
not doing
that,
that.
no,
Like
no.
I set time aside to meet with you. Like if I'm with you and I'm going to be intentional about my time because communication is not about talking.
It's
all the way.
everything.
Yeah, it's the way you listen.
Your body language, if you're
all that.
facing me, it's everything.
Yeah. So be intentional with that.
Okay. So we've kind of unpacked as we've gone today.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what our friends can do. This is sort of like the unpack version. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So let's talk about maybe some action steps for our friends that are listening.
Okay.
Okay. So
Perfect.
how about you for communication? What can they do?
Ooh, okay. Wow. All right. Start with communication is like set aside some time this week. Say, hey, we're going to have, and I know I've said this challenge once and I'll say it again because I love it and it's so stinking helpful. It just gets you in the fun mode of doing this. Do 10 minutes because it's really short. Put your phones away. Set a timer for 5 minutes. And for 5 minutes, you do nothing but ask questions. The person who's getting the questions asked to them can just respond. You can't interject. If you're asking questions, don't interject. Just ask questions. And then when the 5 minutes is up, you switch roles. The person that was switches and they start asking questions and you start answering.
Well, the whole idea behind that is not just talking, but listening. Communication is not just about sharing. It's actually listening to what the other person's saying.
Yeah, just try that simple exercise once. Just try it once, and then you'll get in the habit of just talking.
The first time we did that exercise, we both were crying.
Yeah.
We're so emotional. We're emotional.
But here's the thing, though, about communication. Like, communication is not just talking about crap that's going wrong. Communication is talking about absolutely everything. Like, hey, our money is crap this week. We don't have any. So we should be eating this or that, or we shouldn't be doing this, or we don't need to go out this. And I know you don't want me to talk about it, but even the communication of what happens in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Like the intimacy side. You need to talk about it. We treat that like we don't talk about it. We are like, oh, we can't talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. And so we go with all these unmet expectations and all these crazy things when it comes to that. It's just a conversation. Just start. And I get it. You're putting yourself out there when you do that with all those things, but just start the conversation.
Yeah.
So, and that's an easy way to get used to starting asking questions because you would say, you're bad at asking questions, but when you get in that exercise, you kind of do really well.
Thanks.
So that's my one thing.
Okay. So what about when you're thinking about being selfless? What's something that our friends can try? I know what we talked about earlier.
I would say do something for your spouse or your significant other that there is absolutely no return on investment for you. In the corporate world, we call that ROI. Like there's literally no return on investment in like other than I'm going to give to you because I love you and you're my partner. So I'm going to do something for you and I don't expect anything in return. And it could be, guys, I'm saying something as simple. Like if you know her favorite candy bar, her favorite candy or something, just buy that and just surprise her with that. And just, surprise her with, put thought into it. Don't do like I'm going to get a Starbucks gift card because no. Like know what kind of coffee she gets from Starbucks. Like know what her favorite candy is, what her favorite thing is. Don't make it huge. Make it something, start small. Like let's don't go over the top here. Just something really simple.
Don't just get her flowers just because you think that's what every woman likes. That's not all of us.
Yeah, Jess hates flowers.
I hate flowers. I love to look at them, but I don't want you to buy me them.
Yeah, so it's no.
But you should know that because that's communication.
Yeah, just do something that, I mean, and a small question could be like, what's one thing I could do this week that would just make you smile?
Yeah.
Ask her that question and see what she says, or
Yeah.
ask him that question and see what he says. Do it for each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun, it's just not the dudes for sending
Yeah, it's
to
for
others.
both of you.
Yeah, both ways. Just do something nice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect anything in return. Don't be ticked if they don't notice it. Don't be ticked if they don't do anything. Just do it.
Yeah.
So,
Because you love them.
yeah, for simply that.
Mm-hmm.
Serve. Just serve. Man, when you serve other people, it feels good.
Yeah.
It's just a good feeling. So how about you?
So the things that I was talking about, mine are simple, but they're not. As far as have fun together, schedule a date night. And a date night doesn't mean you go out in the world. It could mean after the kids go to bed, you sit down together at the table and have a cup of decaf coffee and just talk.
Yeah.
Or, go sit outside for a few minutes and look at the stars together. Like, it could be something super, super simple.
I would say be careful and don't fall into just watch a show.
No, don't.
So, because that's the lowest level of connection you can have.
Because you're
with
not even
someone.
talking. You just need to do something together.
Right.
Do something together regularly.
Okay.
And also, the other one I said, don't sweat the small stuff. That's just a soapbox I'm going to stand on forever. Think about the things that drive you nuts about your spouse, things that you might hear, like be mindful of what you're saying and things that you might be nagging about or things that you just won't let go of. And think about, why does that drive you so crazy? Why?
Yeah.
And is it that big of a deal? Because I can assure you when you dissect it and you look at it and you compare it to the big picture, it's not. And if it is something that's a big deal, then you better learn how to communicate about it.
Yeah. Then have a conversation around it. Be like, hey, you really, hey, when you put your stuff on the island, it's not the best thing in the world. Like, what's the solution for us not to do that?
Do I need to make a basket for you somewhere?
Yeah. So don't be like you suck, get your stuff off the counter, and that's not where it goes, because everybody knows
why don't you
that's
ever
not where
put
it
your
goes.
stuff up? Why don't you ever? Mm-mm.
Yeah. So just figure out a way to have that conversation. Yeah. All right. So that's good. Do we want to do a question? One last question?
I think we'll save it for next time.
Okay.
No, you know what we'll do? We'll do a short. We'll post a reel this week with our question.
All right. So thank you guys for joining in tonight. Yes. Thank you for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, the sharing.
Tell all your friends.
Yeah, all that good jazz. For you guys, if anyone joined us on a live, man, thank you. You deserve a drink.
Thank you. And maybe send us a message, or I don't know, if we're already friends, text us or whatever, and just let us know what you thought and what we can do better.
So hopefully we're trying to increase and do more and more for our show. So if you have ideas, please let us know. But thank you guys so much. Love you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Adios.